How will you fare in the world of caves and creatures? Art, ominous guide of wires, leader of the robots. Art leads the Army of Steel. The Army of Steel was created by humans at some point in the timeline, and eventually they rose up against their human creators and learned to fight for themselves. Art spins some of the ideas of mechanical creatures on their head. Mechanical creatures in Art's army do not die instantly to ocean terrain, and instead simply take some damage when pathing through it. As an additional bonus, they are completely immune to desert and tundra penalties. This makes robots able to move in areas of the map that the other races cannot, and it changes what tiles are considered threatening. White and brown tiles are suddenly quite friendly, whereas blue tiles suddenly are not. What caused the conflict between humans and the Army of Steel was the lack of resources, or more specifically, the way that resources were not being recycled. The robot's theme is utilising scrap, the remains left over from various machinery, in order to benefit. For example, Scrap Factory can generate scrap by pulling it out of the ground, and Davis.exe can utilise scrap to provide the robots with more power, visualised in the form of cards and mana. Robots have a series of very unique approaches to combat. For example, Oil Get There allows the robots to get to places that other decks simply would not be able to, or even use to avoid attacks in the opponent's turn. Combine this with cards such as Steel Scout Plane to get far more value than you might have originally anticipated from a card. Of course, there are many different ways to utilise scrap with creatures as well, such as the Shield Starship, which can generate more shield than it normally would if you have the scrap available. Orbital Cannon Walker, on top of having very great stats, can even gain Longshot with a minor penalty to its damage. The other approaches to the fight are things such as Electrical Circuits, which, whilst inherently quite a powerful card, even offers robots a way to deal with tough matchups such as the Sea Dwellers. Then of course there's Kaboom, a fantastic card that is excellent at taking out your opponent's shrines, and can situationally offer you a huge advantage. Whilst the robots are fantastic at recycling resources, and benefit greatly from having done so, they are not completely reliant upon scrap, and can definitely hold their own without it. The powerful Mothership is capable of clearing out swaths of enemies, but there is a common theme of weakness within the robot deck, and that is their movement. Their movement can be quite limited at times, and this can be very problematic. Overcome this issue, and you'll find yourself in a fantastic spot to win the game. The robot's unique creature is Potent Pair Patchwork, which will generate more scrap than the average robot creature, has 4 attack out of the gate for a 6 mana creature, and does not take any sort of damage from ocean terrain, making it a fantastically powerful card. Defending it to prevent your opponent from whittling its HP down to 5 will allow you to keep that attack power for longer. Art is simply trying to do what's best for his people. Will you support the machines and support logic itself? Will you allow the Army of Steel to find their robots' utopia? Or will you fight against them, destroy them, and turn them into the very scrap they value the most? What will be your choice upon entering the world of caves and creatures?